Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why am I still at this job? Am I working too hard for what I am getting back? Am I being paid what I am actually worth? Is this really where I want to be spending my time and energy? These questions show up for almost everyone at some point. And when they do not just stay questions. They start to affect everything. Your focus at work, your mood at home, your excitement about Monday morning, or the complete lack of it. And here is the thing. If you genuinely have real reasons to make a move, you should make it fast. You are the one driving your life. But the most important thing is not to make the wrong move for the wrong reason, because changing jobs is not simple, and the fear that comes with it, can I find something better? Will I earn the same? What if I am making a mistake? That fear is real for everyone, from the person making $30,000 a year to the executive pulling in 7 figures. So watch this to the end, because by the time we are done, you will know exactly whether it is time to go or whether you're just having a bad week. Sign number 1. The culture around you is draining you. Every company has its own culture. Every manager has their own style. And I have seen many leaders who genuinely believe that being aggressive, loud, dismissive, or even openly hostile is somehow a sign of strength. They have been doing it for years. The people around them allow it. Nobody pushes back. And so the behavior gets reinforced, and the manager never even realizes there is anything wrong with it. But let me be completely clear about something. No person, not one, deserves to be treated that way at work. Full stop. And beyond the personal damage it does, here is the business reality. Companies with toxic cultures almost never grow past a certain size. The environment is too heavy. The energy is too dark. The best people leave first because they have options. And the ones who stay either burn out or slowly start to adopt the same behavior themselves. That is the spiral. And once you are in it long enough, it starts to affect who you are outside of work too. Now, sometimes you can change this. A direct, honest conversation with a difficult manager can work. Not always, but it is worth trying before you walk. Go to that person and say something like this. Look, you are clearly good at what you do. This team produces results. But the way things get communicated here, the tone, the pressure, it does not work for me. When I am in that environment, I stop performing at my best. I stop caring about growing, and I do not want that for myself or for this team. That is not an attack. That is honest professional feedback. If nothing changes after that conversation, leave. And leave soon. Because the longer you stay in a toxic environment, the more it costs you. Not just professionally. Personally. Sign number 2. You have hit the ceiling and there is nowhere left to go. You like the company. You like the work. You are good at it. But you have looked around and there is simply no path forward from where you are standing. This happens a lot. And most of the time it has nothing to do with your ability. The company just stopped growing. It found a comfortable size and settled there. The technology stayed the same, and the people at the top have no particular interest in changing any of it. I have sat across from owners who were genuinely proud that they had 30 employees and 0 plans to expand. And I get it. That is their choice, their business. But what they often do not realize is that the moment a business stops growing, it starts losing its best people. Not immediately, but inevitably. Because here is what happens to someone sharp and motivated inside a stagnant company. They join hungry. They learn fast. They deliver results. They look up, and they see a ceiling that is not moving. So they leave. Not because they do not like you, because they respect themselves enough to keep moving. Sign number 3. The work no longer connects to who you actually are. This one is subtle. And it is the one that sneaks up on you. Early in your career, when you are still building your skills, figuring out your craft, learning what you are actually capable of, the industry almost does not matter. You want to become great at something. You want the reps, the experience, the mentorship. Whether that happens in tech, finance, logistics, or real estate is secondary. But once you become genuinely good at what you do, something shifts. You start to ask a different question. Not just, am I good at this? But does this actually matter to me? And sometimes the honest answer is no. You find yourself reading about a different industry at midnight because it genuinely excites you. You watch videos about it. You follow the people building things in that space. And then you go back to your desk Monday morning and feel the gap between where you are and where you want to be. That gap is not a small thing. If you ignore it, if you suppress it and stay because it is comfortable, something strange starts to happen. You begin finding problems with your current company that were not there before. The manager suddenly seems more difficult. The culture seems more frustrating. Your colleagues seem less motivated. The job starts to feel smaller than it actually is. None of that is really about the job. It is about the fact that you have outgrown it and you are not being honest with yourself about it. One important warning here. A lot of people in this situation start doing side projects, running something on the evenings and weekends while keeping the day job for the paycheck. And while there is nothing wrong with exploring something new, if it turns into a full second job, you are going to destroy both. The main job suffers because your heart is not in it. The side project suffers because you are exhausted, and you end up halfway committed to two things instead of fully committed to one. The better move, once you are clear about what you want, is to make the transition properly. Finish strong at your current job, prepare a real handoff. Leave the relationship intact, because the world is smaller than it looks, and your reputation travels with you. Sign number 4. You are genuinely being paid below market, and it has been that way for too long. First, context matters. Temporary pay cuts happen. Companies hit rough patches. Budgets get tightened to keep the team together and keep commitments to clients. If you understand why it is happening, if there is a realistic timeline to get back to market rate, and if you believe in where the company is going, that is not necessarily a reason to leave. That is called being part of a team. But if the salary has been below market for years, if there is no clear plan to change it, if you know you could walk into another company tomorrow and earn significantly more, that is a different conversation. And here is what I recommend. Go have that conversation directly. Do not assume your manager knows how you feel. A lot of leaders operate on the logic that if someone is still showing up, things must be fine. They are not trying to underpay you. They just have not been given a reason to look at the number. So give them a reason. Say it clearly. I have looked at what the market is paying for this role at my level. I am below that number. I would like to fix that because I want to stay here and I want to keep doing good work. But I need this to be addressed. And if you are not sure whether your read on the market is accurate, test it. Go on a few interviews. Not to leave. To get data, real offers from real companies give you real leverage. My wife did exactly this years ago when she was a CFO and felt her salary had stalled. She went on interviews, got actual numbers, brought them back to her employer, and walked away with a raise. She stayed for years after that. Now, if you have had the conversation and nothing changes, do not get bitter about it. Employment is a market. You agreed to the terms. You've been showing up. Now you have decided the terms no longer work for you. That is completely valid. But leave well. Prepare your replacement. Keep the relationship professional, because industries are smaller than they look, and you never know when paths cross again. And one more thing before we wrap on this. Be careful with the idea that your company is your family. It is not. A family is a group of people bound together for life, through everything, unconditionally. A company is a professional relationship built on mutual benefit. It can have genuine warmth, real loyalty, and deep care. But it is not a family. And when companies use that language to make you feel guilty for looking out for yourself, that is manipulation, not culture. You can love your work, you can love your team, and you can still make decisions that are right for your own life. Sign number 5. You are not staying because you want to. You are staying because you are afraid to leave. And this one is the hardest to admit, because fear is quiet. It does not announce itself. It just shows up as reasons. The timing is not right. The economy is uncertain. At least I know what I have here. Better the devil you know. And all of those things can sound completely rational until you realize you have been saying them for 2 years straight. There is a real difference between loyalty and fear. Loyalty comes from a genuine connection. To the work, to the people, to the mission. You stay because you want to be part of what is being built. That is a good reason to stay. Fear comes from a different place entirely. You stay because leaving feels uncertain. Because the unknown is scarier than the uncomfortable known. Because at least here you know what Monday looks like even if you dread it. Here is the question I want you to honestly answer. If fear was completely removed from the equation, if you knew with absolute certainty that you would land somewhere better, would you still be at this job tomorrow? If the answer is no, you already know what you need to do. The cost of staying somewhere out of fear is not just professional, it is personal. It shapes how you see yourself. It teaches you that your comfort zone is more important than your growth. And over time, that lesson becomes very hard to unlearn. You deserve to be somewhere you actually chose, not somewhere you are afraid to leave. So there are the 5 signs. A culture that is draining you and damaging who you are. A ceiling with no way through it. Work that no longer connects to who you have become. Compensation that has fallen behind the market for too long, and staying somewhere not because you want to, but because you are afraid to leave. Any one of these on its own is worth paying attention to. More than one at the same time, and the answer is probably already clear to you. You just needed someone to say it out loud. But here's the thing I want to leave you with. Leaving a job is not failure. Staying in the wrong place out of fear, that is the real cost. The best career decisions are rarely the comfortable ones. They are the honest ones. You are the one driving this. Make sure you are driving somewhere you actually want to go.